Hi, great to see you. My name's Kara Goodwin, and I'm the host of the Meditation Conversation podcast. And today I wanted to talk about this tricky business about being here on Earth. And as I do, I'll show you my shirt. uh, Ground Crew Star Seed. I got this from the Star Family Wisdom. They're starting to have merchandise now. I'll put a link in the notes afterwards, but she's got some really cool shirts out there. And a lot of them are different, like star seed oriented. They've got some sacred geometry things, but super fun stuff. And I'm wearing this shirt all the time. And I'm not sure that most people really even know what it means. Maybe they think there was some sort of event that I was on the crew for. But it's a lot of fun, I think. Kind of maybe more of an inside joke with myself. But I've been thinking about this tricky business about being on Earth. And there are all of these ways that it's kind of like the more you awaken, there are different levels of awakening, um, where we may start to see that not everything is as it seems. Sorry if you can hear my dog. Something's going on upstairs. Um, but we can start to have an awakening where we understand that there's more going on than what the masses are, what when we're just pulled along by life and we're not really thinking about anything and we're not having any sort of um, awakening to a different level, to a different understanding of things. Um, we can start to awaken out of that, and it can present challenges because there are different levels to that. So we may awaken to more of a spiritual understanding where it's like, oh, I understand that I have a soul, I have a higher self. Life continues after death. That might be, and it's not associated to a religious dogma. God's not out to punish me. That can be a level of awakening. There can be another level of awakening that has to do with like healthcare, where it's like, oh, I really thought that my doctors had all the answers, that the hospitals had all the answers, that the drug companies had all the answers. And we start to see that maybe there's something going on behind the scenes there that's not actually in your best interest, for example. Or we may have another level of awakening where we just understand that there are some devious things going on in the back end, ways that humanity is being manipulated and harnessed for somebody else's gain. And so when it can be possible to get stuck in that mode, particularly the last mode, where we start to learn about some things that have been going on for decades behind the scenes that make it harder for us to awaken, that make it harder for us to raise our vibration, that deliberately are coming in and holding down our vibration. And there are a lot of examples of this, and I'm not going to get into them. I'm not an expert on these things by any means, but I am aware of a lot of them. And I'm not saying that they're not true either. But it's not the final level of awakening, because what can happen, what often happens, is that we go down these rabbit holes and we learn truths that are hidden. We learn about things that is suppressed. And this information is out there, and you can start to make these connections within your own intelligence of like, wait a minute, this stuff isn't adding up. How we understand life and how life is presented to us isn't adding up. But what can happen, at least speaking from my own experience, when I go down those rabbit holes, I start to get very defensive, just within my own energy fields, where I start to see everything as being out to get me. And I start feeling hopeless. And it really constricts me because I just feel like the deck is stacked against me. And That's not the ultimate truth. That's not the highest truth. It doesn't mean it's not true, but it's not the highest truth. So we came here on this planet to have a human experience. And the human experience on Earth is different than it is in other places throughout the universe. There are other places throughout the universe that live in harmony and that are understand their connection to God. They understand how they're connected to all that is. They understand that their thoughts are very much responsible for their reality, and they put thought and intention and they work together to put thought and intention together to create a higher experience. That is not what's happening here on this planet. But you are connected to all that is, and you are connected to God. You are an expression of God. And because of that, there's even something bigger going on beyond those rabbit holes where there's a higher truth of what we're here for, what we came to experience. Why are our souls here? Why did our souls choose to come into human form? It wasn't apparently, if we came at this particular time, it wasn't to have the experience of unity and expressing ourselves collectively and being and having it be part of our known experience throughout the masses that we are connected to God and that we are divine and that we have power within us and that we have these suppressed powers that we haven't even awoken to within us, that we have these gifts that we're carrying within us. We have codes within us. We have this process of discovery. We have a process of revelation as a soul in a human body. And that is the opportunity that we have when we're here on earth, is the revelation, the remembrance of who we truly are. And it's not something that is going to be completely given to you by somebody else. You know, so often we want to go to somebody who has clairvoyant skills or um, has some sort of psychic skills and say, tell me what my purpose is. What am I here for? And it's so fun to get insight in that way. But you're here to discover it for yourself. And so, not to say don't use those resources. I enjoy going to using people with intuitive gifts to learn more about myself. I just did a Gene Keys reading a couple weeks ago that I found super valuable, for example. But there's so much in the whole process of that remembrance, of that stepping into who you are, that unfolding, that becoming. That is a unique opportunity that we have as human beings on the planet right now. And I believe that we are, as a humanity and as a planet, and all sentient life here is very quickly evolving. And I think that it's going to be a very different experience on this planet soon. How soon, I don't know, but where it will be, you know, it won't be so divisive. It won't be so, we won't have so much stacked against us. We are ready. We're entering into a period of evolution, of rapid evolution. But the way that things stand right now, there is a lot that's hidden. But I believe very much in a higher power, in an intelligent design. And to me, it makes the most sense that, you know, this duality and all of those ways, all of the things that we may see as being, again, that I keep getting that the deck is stacked against us, but all the ways that we feel like the deck is stacked against us is, at the end of the day, part of a grand design so that we can have the experience that we came to have as a soul. So that's my 2 cents. And I hope it's helpful. I know that it can be really challenging. It can be really difficult. I'm right there with you. But these types of perspectives, these are things that I think of myself to. I mean, these are like things that I help to remind myself when I start to feel powerless or like, what is the purpose here? Why am I here? And, all of those things that I know a lot of people are feeling. So I just thought that I would share in case that's useful or resonant with you. And we're on the verge here of a weekend, and I hope that you have a beautiful weekend, beautiful rest of the day. Many blessings to you.